One thing I learned in my life, when it comes down to racism, the propaganda game is played heavily across this earth. And it's played in a way where the earth is very anti-black. And it props up the lighter shade people on the earth. And one thing they do is try to make us believe they are the standard of beauty. But when you step back and take a closer look, they're not so beautiful at all. They have the fastest aging skin on earth. They get the most skin cancer on earth. And for 6,000 years, they have not been able to perfect a decent sunscreen. Here it is, 2017, and these people got sunscreen all over the shelf and still walk around flaming red all summer long. These are the same people that want you to believe they existed in the hottest parts of the earth and constructed some of the greatest monuments over in Egypt with no sunscreen. They want you to believe that they build the greatest of everything on earth, but have the poorest skin, because our sun will reveal it to you every single time. We have seen their pus balls and sunburns. We've seen their sunburned eyeballs. But still, they want you to believe they existed in Egypt and built all of the pyramids, but they didn't build America. Now, why would you build the pyramids and do all that hard work, but when you came to America, you had to go run and get melanated people to be out there? Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you will explain why they could not build America. Genetically, they have such inferior skin, they can't be out in that hot sun in America or Egypt building anything. With or without sunscreen, these folks burn up. After being on this earth for 6,000 years, they still have not perfected a decent sunscreen that can handle the UV rays. Their skin goes through hell on this earth with that hot sun baking down on them. But they have perpetrated the biggest fraud on the earth by telling everybody their skin is beautiful. This is not beautiful skin, ladies and gentlemen. They age way faster than the people on earth with melanin that don't have trouble existing in the sun. But let's get into this article that came out on The Mighty. Mom warns about dangers of tanning after having 23 skin cancer spots removed in one surgery. And you can clearly see the pictures of her before and then after she had her skin cancer surgery, which is all over, virtually all over her body, as we go down and look at the pictures. So this is a graphic pictures of her post-operative photos. All right. Judy Cloud is a 51-year-old mother of two, a legal assistant, and an avid traveler. She used to be an outdoor sun enthusiast who wore little SPF sunscreen and visited tanning beds regularly. But that all changed when she was diagnosed with skin cancer. The Indianapolis Native skin cancer journey began in 1995 when she noticed a tiny area on her face that looked like a pimple. Unlike a typical pimple, it would often bleed, scab over, and repeat that process. It never seemed to heal. I made an appointment with my dad's dermatologist to have it looked at, she said. The dermatologist took a quick look at it and told me I had skin cancer and said he was going to do radiation on the area. You can imagine how shocked Cloud was to hear the word cancer, she said. Hearing it spoken so bluntly was a bit unnerving. Hesitant to go under radiation on her face, especially so close to her eye, she told her dermatologist she would be back in touch. She went home and did some research on skin cancer, then opted to make an appointment with a plastic surgeon who was highly recommended by a coworker. When I had my appointment with the plastic surgeon, he told me that he wouldn't recommend radiation on the face and that his recommendation was surgery to remove the cancerous area, she said. He soon thereafter performed the surgery and at a follow-up appointment told me it was basal cell carcinoma. That same doctor treated Cloud's basal cell carcinoma, the most common form of skin cancer that has more than 4 million cases of it diagnosed in the U.S. each year, for the next 20 years until his retirement in 2015. Since then, she had numerous areas of skin cancer areas, with all but one diagnosed was basal cell carcinoma. That one exception was squamous cell carcinoma, the second most common and deadly skin cancer. Now, see, they get deadly forms of skin cancer. So again, there is no way they would have been able to build America or Egypt or any place on this earth that has a beaming hot sun coming down on their skin. You can't have skin this sensitive and be out building anything. And I want you also to keep in mind, I did a video on how many of them die early when they do outdoor jobs. A lot of men that do construction jobs outdoor and do any type of outdoor job, whether it's construction or like a postal worker, those men die young of skin cancer. They have the highest level of skin cancer doing those jobs outdoors. I did a video on that. They don't do well in the sun at all, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the biggest hidden things about these people that they try to keep out of the forefront. They don't want this out there. They want you to believe they are the standard of beauty, that pale skin is just the most beautiful thing to have on this planet, and it just simply is not true. It's just not true at all. But let's get back to this article. With these appearances came several surgeries to remove the spots, and her most intensive surgery happened in the fall of 2015 to remove 23 places at once. She shared the journey before and after 3-hour surgery in a Facebook album titled Skin Cancer. She started posting photos the morning of the surgery and shared them up to 4 weeks after to show the recovery process. The description of her album reads, "This is skin cancer. This is the result of using tanning beds when I was younger. This is the result of having numerous sunburns as a child and teen, and not being religious about applying sunscreen and staying out in the sun far too long as a teen and into my 20s and even early 30s. Below are some photos from that album. And ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen no black person posting these type of photos where they had numerous skin cancers removed at once like this woman. But I have seen this done with your average Caucasoid. So let's take a look at these photos below. Heading to the hospital. So this is the morning she was going to the hospital. 6 hours post-surgery. This is her face. And believe me, it's more than just her face. And you'll see that as we get down here into more photos. The morning after surgery. Wow. 3 days post-surgery. And here's another photo, 4 days. 5 days post-surgery. And you can see her chest. So it was more than just her face. And you'll see as we go further down, it was more than her face and chest. All right. This is some more photos. And you see her legs. So she had some cancer removed from her legs. 6 days post-surgery. 8 days post-surgery. 10 days post-surgery. 13 days post-surgery. All right. And you can see, look like that, like the leg. No, that looks like her arm. Okay, so it was all over. This is 17 days post-surgery. And here's her leg. 21 days post-surgery. And this is 28 days after surgery. Listen to this. All right. Total billed for my outpatient procedure, $26,845.87, Cloud wrote in the album description. I know tanning salons advertise tanning packages that are cheap. Does a surgery to correct what the tanning bed does to you still make the tanning special sound cheap? She's got a point there. Cloud first shared the album with her Facebook friends a month after this surgery. She didn't want to make it public, even after a friend insisted Cloud share her stories with others. When she finally gave in and made the album public, the album got over 7,000 likes. I received numerous messages on Facebook from people after they saw my story, she said. Some wanted to share words of support. Some wanted to thank me for changing their mind about going to tanning beds. Some wanted to let me know how much they appreciate knowing they aren't alone in their battle with skin cancer. So a lot of people let her know that they were battling the same thing. Since sharing her story, Cloud has been busy raising awareness for skin cancer. She collaborated with Coolabar, a sun protective clothing company, the American Cancer Society, and the Health Union. She even had an author contact her to ask if she would use her skin cancer journey as the basis for a storyline in her novel, Love is More Than Skin Deep. Cloud said she will most likely continue to have new areas of skin cancer appear on her body for the rest of her life. At least she's admitting it. Like I said, these folks are steady propping themselves up as the standard of beauty. In fact, I was out a few days ago and saw a white woman with a brown patch right on her face. I know what that stuff is now when I see it. I know what those things are. That's skin cancer. After her 2015 surgery, she went for a year and a half with no new areas appearing. But this past summer, she had 2 new spots appeared. Unfortunately, skin cancer isn't always a one and done, she said. Some people have new areas continue to appear. So throughout their lives, when they get the skin cancer, they get more. Okay. The reoccurrences haven't stopped her from spending time with her family or advocating for skin cancer awareness and reform. Cloud hopes people will start to take skin cancer seriously and do all they can to help prevent themselves and their loved ones from getting it. She also hopes the U.S. will follow the lead of some other countries that have banned tanning salons. There is no question that tanning beds are a leading cause of melanoma and that melanoma is one of the most common cancers in young people, she said. Having a tan isn't worth dying for. All right, so that's the end of the story. But like I said, when you start researching, like I did on a prior video, the ones that work outdoors for a living have the highest incidence of cancer. And if it's a white male, they die from skin cancer at a very high rate, you know. So of course, they're not going to reveal this stuff to us because they want you to continue to believe in the fake propaganda that they are the most beautiful and have the most beautiful skin and they are just the most flawless people on earth, and it's the furthest thing from the truth. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I love my melanin. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on that notification bell. And if you can make a donation to my channel, please do. Peace, family.